All right. Hey, everyone. This is Faye from Feisworld Media. And I think this is going to be pretty spontaneous. I just woke up from a nap because I had to take some Benadryl today, which is not ideal for going live on day one. But it is precisely why I want to do this going live for 30 days straight. And this is absolutely a challenge for me. And right now, I am live on my YouTube channel, which is probably the biggest following, seeing that people. And I'm also live on my LinkedIn profile, Twitter account. I'm doing a separate thing here on Instagram. Hey, what's going on, guys? And I'm going live for 30 days because consistency is king. And over the years, I've not been very good at being very consistent with my content. I started my podcast in 2014 and then my YouTube channel in late 2019. And as everybody knows, so you have to go live on a consistent basis in order to grow an audience. But I want to just preface by saying that if you cannot necessarily stick to a schedule, it is still good to go live or, simply content, even if it's not perfect. You're not going to be proud of your content every single time, but please do put it out there. So this live right here is pretty casual. If you're new to what I'm doing now, and if you're not watching now because you're in a meeting, some of my audience members already said that they'll tune in later on, is that for the next 30 days, you're able to tune in. I want to connect with you, have you ask me any questions as you see fit, and I will address them in real time. Or if you don't have time to join live, please do tune in and then just, if you can't join live, sorry, comment on any of the videos, link in the description below. I think the easiest way to possibly tune in via YouTube. And you're able to set a reminder for yourself, maybe for the sessions you're most interested in tuning in. But you can, once again, ask live questions. The live questions can be associated with this current episode or any of the previous ones, even the future ones. And thank you so much for your comment here. Oh my goodness. Someone just dropped me a note to say that my content actually helped him for YouTube and filmmaking. Please let me know if you have any questions right now. And what are some of the questions you have for the 30-day live? Look, the reason why I'm doing this and really listing topics is not about being so fixated on what I want to talk about. I'm here to help people. When I say helping people, I mean, if I can just reach out to one more person to help them with their content creation journey, that would be great. And I really want to move people from content creation to content entrepreneurship. What I've noticed in the past few years is that yes, it's hard to, try to monetize our podcast. In fact, it's incredibly challenging if you want to just rely on downloads alone. And I'm so thrilled that YouTube has taught me a lot of lessons in terms of, how to monetize and not having to rely on just downloads or viewership. So, hey everyone, I am so thrilled that you're here. Card D, and wow, this is so good. And also, in the next 30 days, I want to show you guys how I actually go live. I believe that's a session for tomorrow. And I want to go behind the scenes of showing you, basically where the buttons are, how I'm able to go live and share my content with just a single click. And so I want to also give shout outs to my friends and colleagues on this channel, maybe involve them as I go along and have your questions to really form future sessions as well. And I want to give you guys a shout out. In case you're not comfortable commenting, I want to remind you that this is not a Zoom session. So which means that, you don't have to show your face. It's comments only. So yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts, questions about the topics I've listed. And, in addition to talking about content creation alone, I actually asked some of my audience and to find out that what they find most helpful. It is not just about content creation. They want to know how I was able to find affordable and good health insurance when I started my journey in early 2016. I literally cannot believe it's been so many years. And it was really interesting. Someone asked me recently about how long I have been working full-time versus freelancing. And I realized that I have been freelancing and being a content creator for exactly 6 years. As of January, we're a month away. And I had been working full time for about, I think from '06 to 2000, yeah, '06 to 2016. So about 10 years, 9 years or so. And I learned a lot along the way. So I want to openly answer questions related to health insurance, taxes, or how your income might change or involved in changing, how much you pay for health insurance. And I'm paying health insurance for myself, but if you have a family, it's basically very similar without bearing the lead here, which is you can visit health insurance, basically healthcare.gov to start with the state you're in, and then to learn more from there. And I want to go live every single day for at least 15 minutes and see how many questions that will come in. I'll answer them. And if you have more questions, I want to stay on maybe for half an hour. And so, all right, let's see. Here is, we got a couple of questions here. Cardi, thank you that you're starting your new journey right now. And what is my full-time work? So that's a great question. As I mentioned, I actually worked about nearly a decade in marketing and consulting locally here in Boston. I traveled a lot. And I always knew, I think since I was in my mid 20s, that I wasn't going to work in a corporate environment for too long. It just wasn't right for me. And the biggest takeaway, I think, really is during the pandemic. That was very telling. And still today, I don't have to drive to work. I don't have to park my car in downtown Boston for $40 a day. So it was actually very time saving, in addition to, financially feasible for me as a freelancer. But right now, what I'm doing here in 2021, having started the journey, 6 years ago, I work from home. I have a handful of clients, consulting clients, and I would say that's about 50% of my time, almost exactly. And then the other 50%, I focus on content creation. And that work comes from basically producing videos on my Feisworld media channel on YouTube. I love producing, I love teaching. And so I have Feisworld Academy, which is relatively new, that hosts courses related to helping businesses and individuals grow on YouTube, through podcast, and through Zoom. So link in description, once again, if you're new. And so that's the other 50%, all of Feisworld. And I'll also say that because of YouTube, now I have clients from all around the world. I've been hosting these sessions on basically every other month for Women Leaders Association, CEO Club. And I believe there's another session in January. These are all paid work because I started my YouTube journey. And my goal is to help you guys as content creators, as well as helping your team, your VAs, your editors, your content managers to do more for you. And by the way, quick note on that, because just because we can find people can help us, guess what? A lot of VAs are like idling, as in they're not really doing much for the entrepreneurs because you're so busy, you don't have time to teach them. That's what I created my content for. So, all right, some questions came in, and let's see. Thank you. I want to be able to say your name correctly. Is it Thurston Kramer? You have the energy to bring the right information when we need it. There's a magic feeling you have. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and that really goes a long way. And I looked at my calendar for the next 30 days, and Herman, so good to have you here. I want to give Herman a shout out. Herman has been so instrumental to Feisworld, and we haven't been able to really brought his work and just him onto the platform just yet. I'm still begging him, and it's just incredible. On that note, guys, if you ever feeling stuck and you realize that you need help because other people can help you do more, turns out it's true. I was such a lone wolf when I started my journey in 2014. Back then, as a podcaster, it was tough being a woman of color, and just really not knowing exactly what I was doing. And it was very, very stressful most days. And so Herman, I found Herman. We found each other in 2015, and life has never been the same. And Herman has been with me on the journey for podcasting, documentary, YouTube, and everyday work for my client work as well. So please know that what gives you pain for me was social media, was constantly thinking on my own that find your team. It may take a few tries, but yes, you can absolutely find them. It will make a huge difference in your creator journey. And All right, let's see. Hello, hello, Lisa. So good to see you here. Greetings from Boston. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad to see people here on my newsletter as well. Yeah, I love writing, and that's another area I want to be really consistent about. I want to give a few shout outs because so many people, you guys, you don't even know when you reply to my newsletter, when we connect, whether as a, through either a comment area on LinkedIn or YouTube, doesn't matter. I think I've always been able to learn so much from my audience. I want this to be an exchange instead of a one-way street. A few shout outs. Michael O'Brien, my friend and colleague, really inspired me with his PBS brand, which is Pause, Breathe, and Reflect. PBR, sorry, PBS. And he has been going live on his channel inside Clubhouse every single day, I believe twice a day, to help people uh, reflect and breathe and really just find themselves, find their center again during the pandemic, especially. I was so blown away just by how consistent he's has been, and within weeks, he was able to build, audience to, I believe, 800. Last time I checked, it was 1,200. Is probably a lot more now, and it's just really, really inspiring. So I want to definitely say that. And I also want to talk about a quote. Actually, I don't have the quote in front of me, but Austin Kleon, who's an author, talked about the fact that, he's the one who said, who wrote "Show Your Work," and it's on my bookshelf back there, which some of you cannot see. People talk to him or even ask him, "Hey, Austin, you seem to always have something to say and you something to talk about. That's why you're a blogger. You have a popular podcast." It's actually not true. And what I want to really confirm here is that for me, going live, it's about maybe I don't know exactly what to say. And right now, I'm not even in a mood necessarily to really be teaching, sharing information, but I'm going to put myself in that zone and on that train and just to see what comes out of it. And what I realized as a creator over the years is that sometimes we overplan. We want to have everything to be scripted. We want to rizh our hair to look the part. But it is when you be spontaneous, some of the best content, the most, especially most authentic content, will come through. I mentioned previously, consistent is key, but also keep in mind that perfection is the enemy of the good. How does Perfection is the enemy of good. So, once again, I'm on Benadryl at the moment. Um, that is true. What is so profound about live streaming is that it is inherently not perfect, right? I have two devices in front of me right now. I can really look into one camera at a time. I am connecting with people, so I have to look away sometimes. And there's certain comments I won't even be able to see directly from Restream, for instance. And so I am just learning along the way, just like you are. And I will also just mention that, for instance, like if you're thinking about going live straight and you worry that what if one day I'm not feeling well or I need to travel, I already know I'm not going to be available at the same time. What do I do? Well, here's a good example. Tomorrow at the same time, I have to drive my mom to her physical therapy session. So, which means I might not return. I don't know yet, but I might not be able to come back on time for this. So, I'm feeling a little nervous. Uh, what I will do instead is I will do something called a pre-recorded live. Restream has the ability, which is the app I'm using right now, for me to record something, pre-produce it, and release it. But please know that I will only probably do that once or twice at the most during the 30-day live. I'm still able to, while on the road, to monitor all the comments while I'm going live, if that makes sense. And for some of you guys, that may be a even better option to go live with pre-recorded live. I've had clients who are, concert pianists, or they have to put together, assemble basically a live stream from different people producing different content, and therefore having pre-recorded live as an option is fantastic. All right, I'm looking at my notes here. I don't know what else to cover for today, so I think, well, if you guys are hopping on a little bit late, I will stay on for a couple of more minutes. And tomorrow I will be live at the same time. And we will be talking about, I'm going to hop on over how to live stream as a content creator. I will show you behind the scenes, all the bells and whistles of Restream. And in the link, all the links in the descriptions that below, you will see some of the things or all the things that I'm focusing on, and including Feisworld Academy, my YouTube channel. And there's a link that I'm really proud of, is I finally condensed everything down, all the major tools that I've been using for my business onto one page. And so that is really helpful for me, frankly, because when I started out, it was like, okay, let's have one tool or two of them. And then quickly it just grew. And now I condense everything down to only the essentials. That reminds me of like a video I wanted to produce for a long time. It's like your essential toolkit or your, what is it, like capsule wardrobe for people to reduce their all their buying behaviors. So that's it. All right. A couple of more questions. Hey, Jessica. So good to see you. Jess, since you're here, I was thinking that for Saturday, maybe all of us can go live. That would be pretty sweet, isn't it? Maybe all of you guys, my mastermind folks, there are only like 5, 6 of us, can maybe go live simultaneously. And I have another question. From Mr. Kramer. In the past, I was surprised that you're able to exchange your experience, was able to exchange your experiences. I would like to thank you for today. The message will go on. Thank you so much. And wonderful. So guys, as you can see, it's actually not that daunting to go live. And when you feel like you're being judged, I hear this, people say this all the time. I don't want to be judged by my family, my friends, my colleagues. I'm going live and I better know what I'm talking about. I better have enough to say. Turns out there are many more people who are here to support you than being here to, make fun of you, to I can assure you that's the case. Being on YouTube, I was really scared at the beginning to make sure that I put all the best content forward, and knowing that it really takes time to grow as a content creator, whether you're a podcaster or a YouTuber. And there's so many people being so supportive of my work. It is really addicting. So again, if your heart is here to help one more person, you're going to reach that person. So without rambling on, what I will do is I will see you guys back here 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow to talk about how to live stream. And yeah, let's just go from there. Thanks again so much for tuning in. I'm going to drop off Instagram right now. And just with one click, I'm able to end my stream everywhere else too. All right. See you in 24 hours.